In the heart of an ancient forest, there lived a young fox named Felix. Felix was known among the forest creatures for his quick wit and speed, but he was also known for his selfishness. Felix would often take more food than he needed and was reluctant to share with other creatures. The forest was lush and bountiful, but as the days grew colder, resources became scarcer. One crisp autumn morning, Felix darted through the forest, his eyes gleaming as he spotted a bush loaded with ripe berries. He quickly devoured the berries, not giving a second thought to sharing with his friends. As he continued his day, Felix came across an elder owl named Orion, who was struggling to find food. "Felix, could you spare some berries?" Orion asked, his voice trembling. Felix arrogantly turned his back and replied, "I'm sorry, but I found these berries fair and square." Orion nodded sadly and flew away. Days passed, and the forest began to feel the grip of winter. Food was becoming even harder to find. Felix, still hoarding what little food he found, noticed that his friends were struggling. One evening, as Felix ate alone, he heard a faint rustling. Emerging from the underbrush was Luna, a small deer who had always been kind to Felix. She was weak and hungry, her eyes reflecting a quiet desperation. "Felix, please, do you have any food to spare?" Luna pleaded softly. For the first time, Felix hesitated. Looking into Luna's eyes, he felt a pang of guilt. He gave her a small portion of his stash, and she thanked him profusely before leaving. That night, Felix couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about Luna and the other forest creatures. He started questioning his actions. The next morning, he set out with a different mindset. Felix began to share his findings with others and even helped the younger animals gather food. He realized that the more he shared, the more the forest community seemed to thrive. In turn, the other animals began to help Felix whenever he needed it. Winter was harsh, but Felix felt a warmth he had never experienced before, the warmth of friendship and community. By the time spring arrived, Felix was a changed fox. He was no longer known for his speed or wit, but for his generosity and kindness. Felix had learned that true happiness came not from hoarding, but from giving. The forest flourished, not just because of its natural bounty, but because of the bond that held all its creatures together. And Felix, the once selfish fox, found something he had never expected: the joy of being selfless.